Hey everyone, what is going on? So I have another video for you today, and this is going to be my veteran run. Yes, I did hit veteran with this team. Now it is the same team that I used in the last video, but I just kept on winning with it. I wasn't able to stream, so I didn't stream these battles, but I did record them. And yeah, I just went 5-0, and that 5-0 took me straight to veteran. Just dominating with this team. Kabalion and Pidgeot make a great core. You could go with something else instead of Jellicent, but I mean, it's a great core. Kabalion and Pidgeot are just fantastic together. They really are. They work so well together. I love it. I love it. I have seen the same core with Pidgeot in the lead and Virizion in the back as well. So Pidgeot, Kabalion, and Virizion. I think that's another common team, but no, I mean, the team all in all just works really well. I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Jellicent because I do have a Pidgeot for this Virizion later. Now, of course, it's interesting. This season, I've been seeing mostly Leaf Blades, but like previous seasons, like last season, most of the time you'd see Stone Edge. I'm not really sure what changed, but either way, it's totally fine. I was maybe trying to load another Pokemon. I still have the Pidgeot for this Virizion, and not only that, Jellicent is pretty tanky. It's really tanky in the Ultra League, so it could take two Leaf Blades, and it would be a little bit difficult for them to farm you down. I mean, I guess they could, but they would have to take a Shadow Ball or at least that damage. So I can go ahead and bring in my Pidgeot, and because they hit us with Leaf Blades, I know that they do not have Stone Edge, because you always run Sacred Sword, at least from what I've seen. But okay, Registeel is coming in, so out comes my Kabalion. I'm going to be able to throw another Sacred Sword into the Registeel. Got to get it nice and low. My opponent is going to go ahead and shield. I am expecting the Zap Cannon from my opponent, but a Zap Cannon would KO, and they probably expected a shield from me, so that's why they went for that. They went for the debuff, and they did get the debuff. But that's okay, because I'm going to still be able to get off these Sacred Swords, and this damage is no joke. It adds up even with the debuff, right? So I'm going to be able to get off another one, while Kabalion is such a beast. And maybe another double kick, no, but they actually switch in and go for an attack with the Virizion. Nice combo play by my opponent, but I'm just going to let that go for the farm down. Not the farm. Actually, I do go for the farm down. Yeah, I do, because I know that. Yeah, I know what they have. Right? I know they have Sacred Sword. I know they don't have Stone Edge. So I'm gonna take a couple Sacred Swords, and I'll be able to get the Brave Bird. Of course, I'm gonna win CMP over that Registeel. So I do farm down and I go for the Brave Bird. I don't even know if they will add a move, but either way, this Brave Bird will be enough to KO that Steel Titan and take that win. Good game, well played to my opponent, and I'm going to be able to win this one. Yeah, I had some bad leads, but I'm still able to overcome. It's Giratina lead. It is a Giratina lead. So this is an interesting matchup. Of course, if they have Shadow Sneak or Shadow Force, usually it's not Shadow Force, but I've seen it. It's not as good. You're going to lose this matchup. So generally how I play this one is I do soft lose the lead. I'll be able to get off a couple of Stone Edge attacks, but I'm not going to shield anything from here. And then I'm going to farm down with Pidgeot. Now, it could be bad depending on if they have a Steel type. Obviously, you don't want them to have a Steel type. If they have an Ice type like Wolverine, well, the Pidgeot will get so much farm that you could still get a shield. You just go for a couple Brave Birds anyway. So if they have like that in the back, like Wolverine, it's not that bad. But if they have a Steel type or an Electric type, something that resists flying type attacks, could be pretty difficult. But really, there's no other way to play this. If you shield this, they could shield and farm down. I'd rather just get the farm with Pidgeot because they had Shadow Sneak, right? So I know they don't have Ancient Power. So Pidgeot is safe to bring in and go for the farm down right now. Yeah, they're just going to go for Dragon Claws, which makes sense. I'm going to be able to get off another one. I thought this would be the only one they would be able to get off, but they actually get one more Dragon Claw after this. So a little bit scary because I am getting low, but it all depends what comes in. I'm hoping for no Steel type in the back. And I do farm down, and out comes Swampert. That is not a Steel type, so that is pretty good for me. I can go ahead and go for this Brave Bird. That will do so much damage. If they shielded, I would have gotten to another one. I actually get to a Feather Dance. So this is actually going to pick up the shield, which is really, really nice for me. I didn't think they would shield that, but I'll take that. Now out comes Clefable, and looking really good. I do have a shield advantage, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this Shadow Ball into the Clefable. Clefable, of course, receiving that Fairy Wind this season. So I do believe I shield this. There's no way they're going to go for Medium Ash Baits, right? I don't think so. So it is the Moonblast. So I'm going to go ahead and get off my ball right now. my Shadow Ball, that is. So I'll take that damage. And my opponent will go ahead and get off an attack. I'm going to go ahead and shield it. I think I'll go for another Shadow Ball. I wasn't confident that Surf would KO and I could Hex down in time. Maybe I could have, but it's just safer to go for the Shadow Ball. I'm going to be able to win this one anyway. So I do go for the Shadow Ball, and I bring in my Pidgeot to get ahead on, and well, start to get ahead on energy. They have to throw. They can't much on me down. So they're going to go ahead and throw. And I know that I live in Earthquake, so I'm not worried at this point in time. My opponent will get to it. And it will do a good amount of damage, but it's not going to be enough to KO me, and I knew that. Did I have to switch into Pidgeot? Maybe not, but either way, doesn't really matter. I'm going to be able to take that one. Good game. Let's go ahead and move into the next battle. Cobalion into Gliscor. So a rough match for me, but you know, it all depends. It all depends. Do they bait with the Night Slash? Stone Edge is still doing decent damage, right? So this damage is not too bad. Another one should be enough to KO, and they do go ahead and throw an attack. This is a non-shadow, so I am expecting the straight Earthquake, and it is the straight Earthquake, so that is good for me. And I actually bait here, and Gliscor comes in to catch it. Now, if they caught the Stone Edge, I would be fine with that. Unfortunately, I baited. I don't know if they predicted the bait, but I bring in the Pidgeot now. Pidgeot, as I mentioned in my last video, does double resist to Shadow Claws, but it takes neutral from Liquidation. Jellicent is weak to Shadow Claw, but resists to charge attacks, all of the charge attacks. So you could go in with the Pidgeot or the Jellicent. It all depends which one you prefer to go in with. I've been going in with the Pidgeot. But yeah, either one I think is fine. But now my opponent will be able to get off an attack, but a Night Slash is not going to KO, even though I am double debuffed. So I'm going to be able to get off this Brave Bird into this Gliscor. You love to see it. Picking up that shield, I will take that shield. Obviously, Feather Dance would have been nice there, but that's okay. So I do go ahead and bring in my Cobalion, going straight for the Sacred Sword. If they don't shield, I figured maybe I could farm down afterwards. I don't think that would have been enough to KO, but they do shield, and I'm going to go ahead and fight back with a shield. It is a Night Slash bait, so unfortunate for me. But I know this is a Night Slash as well, so I mean, I can't shield, but I don't have to worry about it anyway. And my opponent may be trying to catch with Tapu Fini. I'm going to go ahead and charge up energy. Looking back at this battle, I remember thinking that I probably should have thrown a Stone Edge, because after the Stone Edge, a Shadow Ball plus the Hexes, I believe would have KO'd this Fini. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and throw this Shadow Ball right now into the Tapu Fini. And then another one will be enough to KO, and I do get off another one. So I still get both moves off, and I'm still going to KO the Fini. And I have attacks ready to go with Cobalion. Okay, we're gonna be hit with this attack. It's gonna be enough to KO me, but I know they don't have an Earthquake, which they need to KO my Cobalion. Well, actually, after the boost, the Night Slash would have been enough, but luckily they didn't have a Night Slash. I don't know why I go for Sacred Sword instead of Stone Edge, but it doesn't matter anyway. Maybe some minor mistakes there, but at the end of the day, it didn't really matter. I don't know. Good game, gonna be able to take that one. Alright, moving on, Cobalion into Wolverine. Absolutely love to see it. Yes, they do have Earthquake, but I still love this matchup. Out comes Gliscor. Gonna go ahead and respond with that Pidgeot. I've actually seen a good amount of Gliscor. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting Gliscor too often, even with the Liquidation move. I do think Liquidation is a good move. I just wasn't expecting Gliscor to really benefit too much from it. It helps it, but I just wasn't expecting to see it a lot. Okay, very nice. So I do KO it, and I'm going to be able to get to another Brave Bird. Absolutely love to see it. This Brave Bird will be... Actually, it won't be enough. What am I talking about? But it will be enough to do a lot of damage to that Wolverine. Wolverine is really thick. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Cobalion. I do go ahead and shield this one up. I do live the attack, but I was like, you know what? Let's preserve the health. And it is the Earthquake, so that's good. Out comes Buzzwole. I'm going to go ahead and bait the Stone Edge right now, and then go into Jellicent. And I do get a shield, which is really good for me. And I'm going to go ahead and go into my Jellicent. I do resist the attacks from this Buzzwole. I resist Lunge, I double resist Superpower, and I resist Counter. So I'm really not taking much damage from this Buzzwole at all. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Shadow Ball. And this Shadow Ball is going to pick up the shield. They probably want to debuff me again before having to take an attack. I totally get it, but I don't have to shield this. This is a dominating matchup for Jellicent. Even though they're debuffing me, this still dominates Buzz Wall, I'm going to be able to throw the Shadow Ball. They can debuff me again if they choose to. That does a decent amount of damage, right? I could take another lunge, and I'm going to go ahead and do just that. Obviously, they're not going to go for superpower, so lunge, of course, is the way to go. They actually get to another one. I did overfarm just because I wanted to see if they were trying to catch. So I did let them get to that other lunge, and now they switch out. So I was expecting like the switch. That's why I didn't throw right away. But I'm going to be able to throw this Sacred Sword, and this will be enough to KO that Wolverine. Very nice. And I'm going to be able to get to a Stone Edge. You know, again, Sacred Sword would have KO'd, but if they got to an attack, I had a shield anyway. And that is going to be a great game, very well played to my opponent, and I'm going to be able to win that one. Let's move on to the next battle. Cobalion into Ampharos. Well, as I've mentioned before, if you have to see an electric type, you definitely want to see it in the lead. Now, Ampharos could be packing Focus Blast. I haven't battled one yet this season with Focus Blast, but if they charge up for it, I usually shield it because it is risky. You know, most of the time it's Brutal Swing. There's always Brutal Swing on it. And then Thunder Punch. I have seen a Thunder one. I've seen a Zap Cannon, not this season, but it is a thing that would do a lot. Zap Cannon probably KO you. Thunder wouldn't KO, but it would come close, and there's the Thunder, so it's still a good shield by me. And I'm going to be able to get off my Sacred Sword, and I actually do pick up the shield, so definitely want to get this Ampharos out of here because the backline, as I've mentioned, does not want to see it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and shield this attack, and I'm going to be able to throw this Sacred Sword into the Ampharos just to get rid of it. We just want to get it out of here. Now comes Jellicent. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my own Jellicent because I do have Pidgeot for that Jellicent later. Yes, they will make the Shadow Ball first, but the thing is, Shadow Ball does not KO me. So, you know, I was expecting the switch, and they do actually switch and catch it. But I'm totally fine with this because it's a Tentacruel, and I actually resist the attacks from Tentacruel. Now, they did throw the Shadow Ball, so they're still going to be able to KO me with like a Scald. But I just want to get the damage on this Tentacruel so I can have the Pidgeot on that Jellicent, right? Because I do double resist the attacks besides Surf, and I guess Bubble Beam, but they're not going to have Bubble Beam. Tentacruel is going to go ahead and throw this attack. I could bring in the Cobalion. And it's totally fine. As I said, I could bring in the Cobalion, waiting out that switch timer. And I do bring in the Cobalion. Now, I do overfarm it maybe a little too much. They do get to an attack. I don't think I was counting, so I guess that's my bad, but I'm not really worried about that. Now, out comes the Jellicent, and I do catch the Surf. They wanted to get rid of my Cobalion. They were going to throw Surf anyway. So, the thing is, like, I can't throw the Brave Bird right now because it's not going to be enough to KO, and then the Surf attacks are going to be more threatening. So, I do have to throw the Feather Dance to debuff them and get a little bit of chip damage off, and then throw the Brave Bird. I'll have to take a couple more Surfs, but I know I'm going to be able to do that, right? So I do get off that attack, and they do get nice and debuffed. And this Surf, I do know I survive, even if I wasn't, or even if they weren't double debuffed, I think I lived that. But either way, I do get off this Brave Bird right now, which will be enough to finish off that Jellicent. And now I can bring in my Cobalion, and again, I went for the Sacred Sword. Stone Edge obviously is better, but I knew it would KO anyway, so it didn't matter. And I'm going to be able to take that win. Great game. Well played to my opponent. And that's going to be a 5-0. Yeah, as I said, I couldn't stream this veteran run. Unfortunately, picking up a Frillish would love that shiny for sure. But that will be enough to get me to veteran. So the next goal is going to be expert. I don't look at it as like, okay, I got to reach legend. It's each one as we go, right? So since I hit veteran, the next goal is going to be expert. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.